Hello, everybody, and it looks like we are live. Welcome to Cantina Cocktail Hour. This is the first stream of 2022, and it's really great to be in here doing this once again. It's been a couple of weeks, and I'm really excited because I have Mike with me this evening to talk whatever we talk about. There's no schedule. There's no.
I have no idea.
Mike, thanks for being here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty good. I mean, I just found out Sidney Poitier died. That sucks.
Yeah.
What a way to find that out. Someone just messaged me.
Yeah.
But I'm good. I'm good. So I always like to start things off with a bummer. So then if you start low, they have nowhere to go but up.
That's,
so start on the bummer and then just everything's good.
Sure. It's all a matter of perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, Chloe, really nice to have you this evening.
Yeah.
First time on Cantina Cocktail Hour.
Yes. Well, first time as a person here. I have been a participant in the chat many times.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
A couple times. Yeah.
Right on. So are you drinking anything this evening?
Yes. And also no. I neglected to get myself a cocktail. So I have a Coke, which I could just add some whiskey to. Which I might do in a little bit. I might take a little quick old break and fill it up. But my wife got me a really nice, every year for Christmas Eve, my bachelor tradition was to get a cheap thing of whiskey and watch a Star Wars, like one of the original trilogies. So that started in like 2012. So I think this was the 10-year anniversary of me, or 11-year anniversary of me doing it. I didn't really pay attention, but when I started dating my wife, well, girlfriend at the time, she started giving me like nice whiskeys. So this year she got me like a nice, it's a rare reserve, some kind of really nice like 18-year whiskey. I don't know. It was really expensive. Wow. and it's delicious.
Sounds really good.
Really good.
But you can't go wrong with Coke. Coke is one. Okay, so sodas. I don't know if you've heard me say this before. Yeah. I love sodas, but Coke and Pepsi and Sprite and ginger ale, for whatever reason, after I got COVID-19, I could never taste them the same after that.
Really? It messed it up for you, huh?
It did. Dr. Pepper's fine. Root beer's fine. But those other ones, no.
Dang, that sucks. That was taken from you. Oh, poor. That's so sad.
Yeah. So, oh well. I mean, if that's the worst thing to happen to me, I guess it's not all.
That's true. Worser things have happened to other people.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
So this evening I have a Moscow Mule, which I can taste perfectly fine.
Nice.
It's good. It's very cold, and I'll say cheers.
Cheers. Oh man, I feel a little. We got a Moscow Mule like cup set for Christmas from my wife's brother and sister, so I could go make myself a Moscow Mule as well and join in. But
they're so
we'll
good.
give it a little bit. They are really good. They're refreshing.
Yes. Any time of year, Moscow Mule I found is good.
It doesn't go out of season. Absolutely not.
Like for me, certain things like martinis, to me, that's like more of a wintry type thing.
Okay.
Mint juleps, summer, whiskey sours, like early summer.
Sure.
Manhattans, fall.
Yeah.
Old fashions, fall. I don't know. It's just a weird thing, but like Moscow
like
Mules
a time
for
of
me,
a year. Yeah.
Moscow Mules I can have any time, and they're equally as good.
Yeah, I like a good mint julep in like July.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice, refreshing drink in the hot summer.
Yeah, and every sip gets sweeter and sweeter.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe that's just me being weird, but
or your weird taste buds. I don't know, but it does happen.
Nice. Well, cool. And of course, locally here we have a lot of microbreweries and.
Oh my God, yes. I gained so much weight. My wife and I got married at a brewery. Like, there's so many breweries. During lockdown, the brewery we got married at, like every week, I would go get a 24-pack from them because I want to keep them in business. We would go there every week. And like we still have so much beer in our cupboards, in our fridge, because we bought so much during the pandemic, thinking like we were gonna get drunk all the time. And then I realized like you can only drink so much beer in a day. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is for sure. Like I enjoy beer now and then, but I'd rather have a cocktail if given
Sure.
the option. Well, cool. Let's see who is hanging out with us this evening so far. Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Britt, nice to have you here as always. Jason, how's it going, Jason? Great to see you. Dave, welcome, Dave.
Hi,
One of
Dave.
our contributors on
yeah.
Cantina Chatter.
Dave's great.
He is. Mary, hello, Mary. Good to see you too. Alex, hello. He says hello. Fellow San Diego locals, Imperial Beach in the house. Very cool.
Woo woo.
Very cool. And there's our pal Sean Solo in the house.
Solo.
Awesome. Yeah. So got a good little crowd here so far. So welcome, everybody. It's great to see you. And yeah, so this is the first stream of 2020. I was going to say 2022.
Nope. Yep.
And yeah, good times. I'm really eager to see what happens this year with all of these things that we follow, right? You know, the Star Wars shows, the Jurassic World movie, the toys for all of these lines, the Marvel films and shows and everything that's lined up. It's going to be quite a year, I think.
Oh, yeah. We have at least 3 Star Wars shows coming out this year, which is 3 times as many as we normally have. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're in Book of Boba Fett right now. Yep. We have the Cassian Andor series. Mm-hmm. We have the Bad Batch season 2.
Yes.
We have Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The one I'm looking forward to the most. Yes.
Yeah, me too. And then Mandalorian season 3. So lots. Yeah.
So that's plenty.
I am excited. Yep. So Obi-Wan is the one you're looking forward to the most as well, huh?
Oh yeah. I think it's the one that it's the time period that I've kind of wanted to explore more. Like what did Obi-Wan do? Did he just sit on his hands for like 20 years, like looking over at Luke? Like what's going on there, you know? So I would love to explore. I think more stuff needs to be set in that Empire time period, because basically what we see is the end of the prequels, the start of the Empire, and then the original trilogy is like the end of the Empire, and we don't see the 20-year reign that the Empire had across the galaxy, other than like Rebels, and like Rogue One. But we're just now starting to sprinkle in some of those missing holes, and I'd love to see more stuff set in that time period.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited for that. And so Cassie and Obi-Wan will be in that time frame.
Yeah.
And
the only downside to that one is like we know how his story ends. You know, at no point I'm like, oh man, is he gonna die? No, because I know when he dies. You know, it's kind of like watching the prequels. Like the whole time, I'm never rooting for Anakin because I know what happens to Anakin. You know, like it was a little weird in Clone Wars because it made you like him, but the prequels at no point was I like, yeah, go Anakin. I was like, you're gonna kill a bunch of people like when you're older, like whatever. So for me, the prequels had that problem. I think Andor is gonna have kind of that problem as well, where I know the outcome. You know, sure. I'm there for the ride. I want to see it, but like it's not really gonna hold any like surprises, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We know where Cassian ends up. We know how he ends up.
Of course, you could say the same thing about Kenobi. So, like, just to be fair, you could say the exact same about Kenobi. And I guess the difference is I care a lot more about Obi-Wan Kenobi than I do Cassian Andor. Not that I don't like Cassian Andor. I really did like Rogue One. But, like, you got that Kenobi, you got that Vader, and I want to see where that goes.
Yeah, me too. And I hope in Andor we get Director Krennic. I that's the one character I want to see again.
Well, if anything, it just makes him maybe. I want an updated version of that in the Black Series. So hopefully that will be relevant and they'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, they missed an opportunity to do that this past year.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh well. At least we have him, right? He doesn't even exist in the vintage collection, so.
That, you know what, and that sucks for the vintage collection because, well, I'm exclusive Black Series. I just don't have the time and money and space to do 2. And every time I look at a vintage collection, I go like, I remember these being bigger when I was a kid. You know, like I remember holding these in my hand, and I remember these feeling like much bigger, which is why I tend to gravitate more towards the Black Series 6-inch because I had that same feeling, like the size of 6-inch figure is in my hand right now as an adult. Has that same feeling as the 3-inch figure had in my hand when I was, 10 or 11 or whatever. So for me, they kind of have that same installation, but I feel bad for all the people that still hang on to those 3.75 inch figures, because especially the 2016, like there really wasn't a 3.75 inch line for those. Like they had the little basic POA ones, but like nothing like
the robots.
Yeah, exactly. They had the 5 POA versions, but nothing that was good quality, I would say.
Right. Yeah. No, the quality like now compared to like at any point in 3/3 is just amazing. But yeah, we need Krennic, and I will agree with the smaller figures, and this is just a me thing because my eyes are aging and stuff. You don't see the details quite as well as sometimes I look at it on camera after I do a video or something. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize his eyes are blue, or just things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but no, it's all good. It's all good. It doesn't matter what you collect as long as you're having fun and you're spreading happiness.
Yep. They're just toys. Don't take them so seriously.
Yeah, they're just toys. We're passionate. Toys. We're passionate, but they're just toys.
Exactly. Temper your passion a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. So it looks like let's see. Who is here? So it looks like we have Mario is tuning in from Mexico. Hello, Hola. Mario. And we have Reese here. Hello. What do you think about Boba episode 2? Ooh. So Mike, I'm assuming that you've seen both episodes.
Oh yeah, okay. I have. Yep. I enjoyed episode 2 more than episode 1. And I thought episode 1 was okay. Like it wasn't bad. But honestly, I kind of felt the same about Mandalorian episode 1. Though when other than the very end reveal, and you're like, is that a tiny Yoda or whatever? Like other than that, at the end of the first episode of Mandalorian, I was very whelmed by the first episode of The Mandalorian, and then it kind of built from there. So I'm kind of hoping Book of Boba Fett does the same kind of thing, where like it was okay, but I'm hoping jumping back and forth between the flashbacks and the updated version, which I'm not a huge fan of that storytelling medium they're going for, but like I'm here for the ride. I want to see where they're going to take me. I trust them basically.
Yeah. I also preferred episode 2, chapter 2. I thought it was I thought 1 was good. It wasn't like amazing, but I enjoyed it. And but chapter 2, I felt just like it raised the bar and really gave us that background of Boba, where he's been through all this time.
I never thought I would care to see how Boba got his gaffy stick created. At no point was I like, man, I hope we get to see how that happened. But we saw it, and I was like, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, and talking about synergy, Hot Toys, they're coming out with this 2-pack of Boba in his Tusken outfit, and then it has also Boba with when he gets the armor back from Mando. This thing is released on the same day that the episode premiered in Asia. It released, and if you look at I keep track of the numbers on Sideshow's site, and it jumped from number 15, best selling, all the way to number 6 right now.
Oh dang, that's a big jump. Yeah,
so just interesting to see how they're it may not be a Black Series coming out at the exact same time, although that figure did kind of come out somewhat recently, but they are still kind of doing that thing where they're trying to time it with products. So cool to see. Right there he is right there. I still don't have him.
Yeah, I was very surprised when Dorkside sent my order out. But yeah, he's good. I put him because I got him in 2021, and I got him from a legit site, so I put him as a 2021 figure for me. And he made number 10 on my top figure list of 2021.
Nice. Yeah, super cool. Do you have any predictions for episode 3? Anything that we might see?
Oh, predictions for episode 3. Well, honestly, no. I have no idea where this is going. What I have seen on the previews, and the only thing from the previews we haven't seen is that girl on the bike, and I'm like, is that Dr. Aphra? Is that someone else? Like, what's her deal? So there's not that. I think there's only 6 or 7 episodes. So by episode 3, I feel like we kind of have to know who she is, if she's anyone important, or if she just be a one-off person. but episode 3 is like that middle valley kind of episode. So
Right.
I'm kind of hoping that we find out a little more about whoever that was, or if she's important at all. I'm predicting the backstory part, like we'll get how he found Slave One again, or how he got back to Slave One, and left Tatooine, and I'm hoping that picks up to where we found him, or where he entered the story in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that would be cool. What I'm curious about is how long has he been with the Tuskens? How long was he in the Sarlacc? Like how much? Because we know it's 5 years between Mando and Return of the Jedi. Like how has he been with the Tuskens for 5 years? Like what are we gonna see? Are they gonna give us a time frame of how this works?
Time frames in Star Wars it's always kind of weird. Like how long did Empire Strikes Back last? How long was Luke Skywalker on Dagobah? Like there's no real definitive answer. There's people guessing here and there, but it could have been a week, it could have been 6 months, so right. Time has always been kind of weird with Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. And if you think about how space and gravity work, and it could be a different, he could be on yeah exactly. It might be 6 months on Tatooine, but it's 5 years everywhere else. Who knows?
We have an interstellar situation going on here.
yes Yeah, Star Wars likes to do interesting things with time frames and
and time. Like at the end of Rebels, like I did not expect time travel to come into this.
Oh yeah, the World Between Worlds thing. Yeah,
sure.
That was interesting.
It was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, Alex says, "How exciting to see." I don't know if Mike, you can pronounce this name. I can't.
Black Chrysanthemum is how I've always pronounced it. I liked him in the comics when he popped up back in like 2015, I think. And I was like, oh, this is a cool Black Bounty Hunter Wookiee. And when he popped up in the episode, I was like, that's the guy. That's the guy from the comics. And my wife's like, what are you talking about? So I had to look it up. I'm like, this is the guy, So I was very excited to see him show. I did not expect that's someone I wouldn't have been on any list of like possible cameos. I would have never said, oh, that one Wookiee bounty hunter from the comics. Mm-hmm. Let's put him in the show. So I'm pleasantly surprised so far by that, at the very least.
That was cool. And he's scary looking. Very scary looking.
A lot more intimidating in person than he was in the comics, but there's that 3-dimensionality to him.
Right.
Definitely love him. Definitely want to see all kinds of figures of him. And Hasbro, if you're watching, listening, whatever, don't give us a Chewbacca repaint. He deserves his own figure. Come on. Don't stand corners. Come on. Yeah. Charge $40. Charge $40. I'll pay it. Give us a good one.
That'd be cool. I would take that.
I'm saying.
I would certainly take it. Dave says, excited to go to Target today and pick up my favorite Book of Boba Fett character. Just kidding. They had nothing Star Wars.
No, they never do.
It's a tale as old as time. It seems like.
I can't remember the last time I bought something. Oh, I do remember the last time I bought something from Target, Star Wars related. It was Moff Gideon back in like the beginning of 2021. That was the last figure I got from a retail store.
Gosh, I can't even remember. Like Black Series, I just don't see them.
No, never. No.
The vintage collection.
Or if I do see them, I already have them. So like I don't buy them. I have seen vintage collection around here. Like I saw the whole wave that had IG-11 and the Emperor and all the, like I saw those on pegs, and if I collected them, I would have been set. It was great. Right time, right place, or whatever.
That's cool. Super cool. Sean says, love the twins too. Yeah, the Hutts. Yeah, they were surprised.
I loved seeing that the one like struggled in the middle. You could see him like wiggling, and it was like, that poor guy. I feel so bad.
I'm surprised they didn't have more people like holding them up. There were only like 8 of them. It's like, whoa. Yeah,
that's it. That's at least 2 tons worth of Hutt right there, at least.
Yeah, for sure. And Brett also agrees that we need the Wookiee character as well. Let's see who else is here. D. Solaris, hello, welcome. The tinier the figure, the more concentrated the fun.
It's like orange juice.
Like orange juice, like a Moscow Mule.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, or have you been to Galaxy's Edge before? Like they have.
Yeah, we went November 2019 for our anniversary. And then we're gonna go again when Rise of the Resistance opened in April, the beginning of April of 2020. Yeah. And like it was like a week before we were gonna go, they closed everything down, and I haven't been back yet. But I want to. I got my lightsaber, so that's cool, but I still haven't been on Rise of the Resistance. My mother-in-law, who has Alzheimer's and doesn't care about Star Wars as much as I do, has been on it. She can't tell me anything about it. And, I don't want to know anything about it. I want to experience it. But it kills me a little bit that she has been on it. And I haven't.
Yeah. But I was going to make the comparison to is in the Cantina, they have this really tiny drink. I think it's like a Dagobah rum slugger or something or other. It's the strongest drink, but it's tiny. So it's to Britt's point. Yeah. But yeah, no, Rise of the Resistance is, I barely got to ride that like in October. And yeah, it was worth, even though I had to wait as well, it was worth it. It was worth waiting. Yeah. I didn't know anything about it. So.
Yeah, I haven't really, I haven't watched any videos. Like I have a gist of what it's about, but I haven't gotten anything spoiled because I specifically haven't looked at anything. So I'm looking forward to that.
Keep it that way. Even my husband, he's not a big Star Wars fan at all. Like he's not, but he loved this ride. He loved it.
Yeah. That's what I've heard from so many people is like people that don't care about Star Wars. It's that amazing. So I don't know if it's been built up too much now and it'll never like meet the hype that I've put myself in, but there's only one way to find out. So
for sure. Yeah. I can't wait to go back there. I haven't built my own lightsaber. I've bought the Legacy, a couple of those, but I haven't built my own. And
building your own is worth the $200 price, hands down. The experience. I thought it was going to be dumb. Like I was just there to get a lightsaber that I built, but like the little show they put you through, like, I got goosebumps at the end. I'm like an adult man, and I'm like I'm like fighting back tears from like this feeling that this stupid show gave me. So it was 100% worth the price for doing that.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah. I was going to do it last time. I was so close, but then they said, oh, well, we're missing this part and that part. We don't have this part. I'm like, oh, those are the best looking parts. I'm just going to buy my own over here.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that though. I'm sure most people would have been perfectly happy with what they had, but I'm a weirdo.
I don't know if you know what you like, you don't settle, especially not for like $200.
Yeah, for sure. Alex says, looking forward to different Tusken's Black Series figures from the Book of Boba. Yeah, in 2024 Absolutely. Or whenever they get around to it.
Right. that's the time frame that we usually get for sure.
Left Coast Graphics. Bosco roll in on his Kenner Cap 2 mini ring. That would be something.
That would be fun. Yeah. What they probably will give us is a Fixer and Cammy now that we've got them in something official. I did not know that couple was Fixer and Cammy until someone. It was on my podcast. My co-host. I haven't. That releases tomorrow. A little plug for my own podcast.
Go for it.
But we're recording it. He mentioned my co-host Zach is like, oh yeah, and there was Fixer and Cammy. I'm like, where? Who? And that was the couple in the Tashi station. I was like, oh, weird, but okay. That's neat, I guess.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah. I do have their figures in 3 3/4 from 2009 or 10 or whenever those came out.
And by they'll make them. I do mean in the Black Series because whenever whenever I'm talking and I'm wanting something, it's 100%.
It's Black Series.
It's Black Series. Yeah. Again, nothing against 3 3/4. I just do not care about that scale at all. Nothing against it.
I love all of them, all the scales. Give me all the scales.
That's fine. Oh, I see you got 1/12 scale, you got 1/6 scale, you got 1/18 scale. You are like all over the place. Like you are committed, and I think that's great.
Hey, if it's a Star Wars, send it my way.
Yeah.
Jason says, "Bring back Zero the Hutt." Yes, where is Zero?
I'm pretty sure Zero is dead. Didn't Sice Noodles shoot him dead?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a great episode. That was the whole whatever. What's the Jedi? I can't remember his name. The one with the
cane.
No, the one with the dreads.
Kit Fisto.
No, he's the. Oh my god, this is gonna drive me insane. I have to look up his name. He's in that book, Dark Disciple. With I'm looking at. I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
I'll let you find it.
Oh yeah, go talk amongst yourselves. Quinlan Voss. Quinlan. I got
Quinlan Voss.
Quinlan Voss. That was Obi-Wan and Kenobi and Quinlan Voss were like hanging out for that episode, trying to track down Zero the Hutt, and I think that's the one when they fought Cad Bane. Like that was just a really good episode.
I don't even remember it. I need to go back. This is like, gosh, when did that come out? Too long ago.
Way too long ago. Don't remind me because it doesn't feel like that long ago. But when I think about it, it actually is that long ago, and then I'll have an existential crisis.
Yeah, I got to rewatch it. Just like I know it's going to take forever, but I need to get around to rewatching Clone Wars. Pretty soon.
We watched it during lockdown in 2020, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. We watched it chronologically since the first like 3 seasons are all over the place in terms of like when they happen.
Yes. Yeah. I know that StarWars.com has the canonical order, and
and that's what we used to watch. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, it's probably the way to do it. Let's see. Britt says, turns out Slave One was just parked in a parking lot where he left it. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's probably something as kind of a letdown. He's like, oh, there it is. And he clicks his little unclicker thing, and it does that boop boop thing, and it's right there. It probably has a bunch of parking tickets on it, though.
Oh yeah. Bet Lord Fett renames the Slave One. Could be. Although he never named it in any of the previous media. I don't think so.
Yeah, Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back. He's like, quick, let's get to the Slave One and let's take Han Solo, to Jabba the Hutt. Like they've never actually named it. It's just been named in like on the toys and in media, but they never actually verbalized that. So, but then again, neither is Wicket. So there's a lot of weird things in Star Wars where they have names, but they also like don't say those names. Like the word Ewoks never mentioned. And Princess Leia is like, hey, I found a bunch of Ewoks over here. They're cool. They eat people, but they're cool. So it's really weird.
It is. Palpatine's never mentioned in the original trilogy.
Nope. I think it was in the novelization, and it was like one of those things that someone on Reddit mentioned this. I was in a conversation where they asked, like, did people know that Palpatine was a Sith? And at no point did me or any of my friends, like we all knew, like that wasn't like a surprise for us. It was like, we weren't surprised Anakin turned into Darth Vader. We weren't surprised that the Emperor turned into Sidious. Like that was just like a duh from episode 1. Right. But I guess there is a generation of people that didn't grow up with Star Wars where that was like a surprise for them, where he did turn like this nice old man is evil. What? So it's interesting to see the different perspectives between like I was a 90s Star Wars kid where I was born in 82. So by the time I was old enough to kind of be into something on my own, like I choose to be into this, like Star Wars was long gone. And the only way you could really experience Star Wars was reading the books or rewatching on VHS or, whatever few like Rebel Assault video games and stuff like that. But that was the only way to experience Star Wars then. But even then, like Emperor Palpatine, that was like a thing. Everyone knew.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. I mean, and even in Phantom Menace, it's so obvious. Like his voice is the same. 100%. The nose is the same. Like
the chin's the same. He's got that dimple chin. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember watching Revenge of the Sith in the theater. I think I watched it like 6 times in the theater, but I remember on one of those times when Anakin says, "Oh, you're the Sith Lord," and somebody in the audience was like, "What?"
No, duh. Yeah, like what?
Glad you caught up.
When?
Yeah, actually, I just rewatched Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace this past week. It just felt like a good time to do it. Yeah. No, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I didn't watch Phantom Menace.
That's fair. Man, I think I saw that one in theaters more than the other two, just because like I was like the right age, and that was the first new Star Wars, and I was super excited. And I think I just kept watching it, hoping that it would get better every time. And I loved the pod race, and I loved the end fight. But like getting to those moments, even as a 17-year-old, I guess I was when that came out. It was tough. It was tough getting to those moments.
Yeah, no, for sure. Attack of the Clones, though, I hadn't watched that in years. Like it had been a long time. And for a while now, I've said that's like my least favorite Star Wars movie, just because it's all over the place. But I actually kind of liked it a little bit more than Phantom Menace this time for some reason. I don't know why.
I go back and forth between the two. I definitely think the Clone Wars cartoon made me appreciate Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith more. Like they fleshed out. Like I feel like the Phantom Menace is like its own thing because there's a 10-year gap in between those two movies. And while the characters are the same, like there's two different worlds, whereas episode 2 and 3 are much more connected. So it's really hard, even though they are a trilogy, still seeing the trilogy for me, episode 1 is just it's removed from those other two stories. Right. It's like they're completely like it's like I feel like episode 1 should have been its own trilogy or movie, and then they made more around this time frame.
Yeah, that I've always felt like it would have been cool to see just Anakin as a grown up like the whole time.
Yeah.
And then maybe he turns to the dark side at the end of episode 2. And then it's a cliffhanger, and then we don't see him like full on, he's still Anakin, right? Still a human, but like full on Darth Vader in episode 3. And we see that whole thing play out with the Jedi being hunted down. And but I didn't write the movie. So
you didn't. You're not George Lucas, but
that's a good thing. It's a good thing I'm not doing
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah, we'd have the Tonica sisters in every movie. It's a good thing I'm not doing that.
Weren't they not really the Tonica sisters? Wasn't that the story?
Yeah,
they were pretending to be the Tonica sisters or something, and then
that
was something like they had the plans. I know this is all old legends and
right
doesn't but I remember reading all those books, like the Tales of the Cantina,
Tales from the Mosai's Cantina, fun stuff.
I don't remember I think it was the Tales of Bounty Hunter book. That was the book that made me realize, you know what? The EU can have some pretty bad stories in it. And it was their take on Boba Fett in that, where they're like, yeah, he's Jester Muriel from the planet Concord Dawn. And then like a year later, or like 2 years later, episode 2 comes out, and we're like, nope, none of that's right. Like he's a clone, like it was just weird, like how fast they contradicted it. And I'm just my brain was just like, well, throw the EU out. Just it's garbage now. If you can't trust one book, you can't trust any of them. And so I just kind of left the EU around that time.
Yeah, it's very extensive for sure.
It is. There's different tiers of canon. You have like A canon and B canon and C canon. Like there's just too much to like keep up with.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I always liked the novels like around the prequel era. Like let's see, what did we have? We had
Shatterpoint.
Shatterpoint was one. Labyrinth of Evil.
That one was a good one too. Yeah. No, they were good. There were definitely good ones for sure.
There were some good ones in there. The Rise of Darth Vader, like after Revenge of the Sith, that one was a good one too. Obviously, these are non-canon, right? But
nope. But I think for me, I think a lot of it is if it doesn't directly contradict it, like maybe it's not officially canon, but it's kind of like it's like light canon. It's that C tier canon. Like it could still kind of exist, but you can't bring it up or talk about it really.
Yeah. So maybe without there being anything to say what happened definitively in that time, this is the closest thing.
Exactly. So you can still kind of have it. But other ones like what the Thrawn Trilogy, like I know as much as people love the Thrawn Trilogy, I tried to reread it a couple years ago, and I couldn't get into it again. Like I loved the Thrawn Trilogy, but I could not get back into it.
Here's a good interesting theory here. I think Jabba's son, I think it means son, is being raised by Cobb Vanth in Mos Pelgo.
Mos Pelgo? Why not? Why not?
It's as good a theory as any.
Yeah, right.
What happened to his kid though?
He's in the Clone Wars movie and then nothing.
Right. I mean, shouldn't he be the one to challenge Boba for the throne?
Yep, technically, or like inherit it or whatever.
Yeah.
But what's the like the growth period for a hut? Like when does a hut? I'm gonna Google this, and there's gonna be an answer because some
Okay.
nerd out there has answered this.
Nice.
Growth chart. I don't know how would you
I've
even,
never thought about
Google
this.
Yeah, how would you even Google this? Like how long does it take for a hut to become a full grown hut? These are the kind of things that we care about.
Yeah,
I know they're asexual.
You know, that is what I always heard too, but then like in Book of Boba Fett, there's clearly a male and a female, right? So
Well, no, but I think they can like switch is what it is. Like kind of like frogs, where they can go from male to female depending on whatever they need to do or something. Let's
I want to do that. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah. Life cycle. Here we go.
Oh, the life cycle. Oh, they have a life cycle. Okay.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm on Wikipedia, of course.
Okay. I'm really curious to see what it says.
Me too. I mean, it's got to be a lot. 70 years, it looks like. So their childhood is 1 to 70 years, and a young adult is 71 to 90 years. So I think by the time that Book of Boba Fett is happening, he's still technically a child.
Huh.
Yeah, Hutt's believed to be like 1,000 years. Kind of like I guess Yoda's, whatever Yoda's species is.
Yeah, that's true. Because Grogu, right? He's still a baby, and he's 50 years old. So,
which doesn't make sense. I mean, Yoda was like 800 years old or 900 years old when he died. Like 50. What, like mathematically, I don't know if that actually works out. But again, it's a TV show. Right. It's a movie, don't take it too seriously.
Yeah. Maybe it takes a while, and then like in 2 years he becomes an adult. Like it just
like boom. Yeah, like they just kind of maybe they cocoon and then he explodes out of a cocoon. There's a backwards talking little Muppet.
Right. Exactly. We'll see him in season 3 of Mando, and he's just bring back shots of Spotchka with Luke.
There you go.
Oh man. Good stuff. Brittany says that Attack of the Clones is her favorite prequel. Cool. I love Revenge of the Sith. That's like one of my top 3
I think that's my favorite.
Yeah. I put it in my top 3 favorite Star Wars films too.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff. I think the Palpatine trilogy, as some people call it, would be my favorite. Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Those are the 3. Like if I could only watch 3 of them forever until the rest of the time, I think that's what I would do.
So you just watch the ones with Palpatine in it. I mean, that's cool. Or with Sidious or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I like it.
Let's see, Action Figure Expert is here. Hey, good to see you.
What's up?
Happy New Year. Hope you are doing well tonight. Thank you. We are doing great. We're looking at Hutt's life cycles. So.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Now we know.
I did find it interesting. One of them was like sitting with their tail like forward, like they were sitting on like those legs, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
that was confusing.
Yeah.
I kind of thought maybe they literally were like Siamese twins at first, but then like when they turn around, you can kind of see the other side of the girl one, I think. Yeah. So let's see. Mario says, love the new perspective the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett is giving to Tusken Raiders. Absolutely.
I agree. That as soon as I was done watching, I texted. I have a nerd group chat with like just random friends and stuff, and I'm like, "Are Tusken Raiders cool now? Like, do we care about Tusken Raiders like now? Is that a thing? After years, decades of them just being like mindless, like killing machines that don't have any like actual personalities or culture. Now it's like now I care. Now I want to be accepted as a Tusken Raider and like drink from a little undersand melons and go on a lizard spirit quest and break a branch off the tree.
I know. That'd be weird. I can just feel the lizard running up my nose.
Oh, I couldn't do it. Like I was freaked out just watching that part. I did like his reaction though. I was like, I think I swallowed your lizard. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I think Obi-Wan was just too dismissive. He was like, the sand people. They ride single file. No, they're gonna kill us. We got to get indoors.
Yeah.
I think he was just dismissive.
Oh,
Bad influence on Luke, that Obi-Wan.
I mean, I guess the only experience he had was probably, Anakin telling him how much the Tusken Raiders suck for killing his mom. So, like, I kind of get it. Like, I kind of get it.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting dynamic, though, compared to how they've been portrayed previously.
I did like watching the little montage of them learning to ride the bikes and practicing. Like, that was fun. That was fun, good Star Wars right there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm really excited for episode 3 to see what they're going to do. Will Mando make an appearance? Will Grogu make an appearance somehow? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so. It'd be nice, but I just but then again, I didn't think Luke Skywalker would show up in The Mandalorian. I thought literally anybody but Luke Skywalker. I told my wife, I was like, they're never gonna put Luke Skywalker in this. And then when the X-Wing showed up, I was like, okay, could be Luke Skywalker, but I'm still crossing my fingers for like Ezra or someone like that. And then I groaned a little bit when it was obviously Luke Skywalker, but then I accepted it and we're fine. But I thought that was like too kind of boring and obvious, maybe. Like it's like popping on Mario Kart and choosing Mario. You're like, yeah, of course you'll choose Mario. There's like 1,000 other interesting characters. You got a bone turtle over here and a ghost, but you choose the fat Italian plumber. Sure, why not?
Right. No, that's a good way to put it. I was late when I watched that. I was late. I was like, oh, cool, X-Wing. It should have dawned on me right then and there. It didn't until he came out. I'm like, oh gosh, darn! Of course it's Luke. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Let's see what else is going on in here. All right. Hopefully no Han cameo. I love Han, but no, Hilsey says. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I wouldn't put it past them, but
could be. What would it be? Alden Ehrenreich, or would they try to put like a Harrison Ford CGI face on there?
Yeah, I think it'd have to be Harrison Ford at this point in the story.
I agree. But I mean, I kind of hope. I want a Star Wars story. Like, the galaxy's big. That's kind of one of the reasons I really didn't want it to be Luke Skywalker. Is the galaxy is huge, and we keep running into the same people. Like it makes the galaxy feel small when you keep running into this. Like, oh, there's that guy again. There's Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazon on Jeddah for some reason. I don't know how they escaped the planet before it just got destroyed by the Death Star, but like they're here for some reason. Like little things like that. Like, it's supposed to be fan service, but I don't like things like that. I guess I want to just new people.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, yeah, you're right. We're not talking about like a city where, you're bound to at some point run into somebody, We're not talking about even a planet. We're talking about a whole galaxy made up of billions of stars and planets. Exactly. And, it should be some random, life form that you run into and not Han Solo. But
yeah, I do think it'd be cool to see Kira. And it could still be Milky Way Skywalker just said that in the chat. And it could still be what's her face? I can't think of the actress's name right now. But like that, there we go. Like, that would be a fun thing to get. And it's not, it doesn't feel like seeing the same people over and over again, because she has ties to crime empires. Tatooine's probably a great place for her to be hopping around on, doing whatever crime lord stuff she's doing. So I think that would make sense if she showed up.
Mm-hmm. I would dig that. I would absolutely.
Hilsey, exactly. It's a little odd that Tatooine seems to be the center of the galaxy. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. I love Tatooine though. Like, it's my favorite Star Wars planet.
Well, as Star Wars fans, we all love Tatooine because it's where New Hope started. It's a good chunk of Return of the Jedi. It happens on it. Like we're familiar with that.
Right.
So it makes sense for us to gravitate towards it. But it's a bigger galaxy. Yeah, it's supposed to be the armpit of a galaxy. It's supposed to be some place that people don't really go, because why would you go there? Of all the planets you can go, why would you go to Tatooine?
Right. It's kind of like where I was born in Texas. Like, why would you go there?
Why would you go there?
No one would go there. Nobody's even heard of it. Nobody would go there.
I lived in like Havasu for a half a year until I realized it was awful. It was great to visit. It's fun to go party for a weekend, but living there is awful. There's nothing to do other than party, and you can only party so much. Like you get bored of partying.
Yeah, that's you're not wrong. Yeah, I'd love to see Kira though. I think that if I'd love to see them make more solo films or a series, but if they didn't do that, I do want to see Kira back in some form or another in live action. I think this would be possibly a good opportunity to do that.
Now Dan's watching. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dan. Why does everyone want to go back to Jakku?
Great question.
Yeah.
I would rather go to Jakku than Tatooine, though. I think.
Really?
I mean, just because like we haven't really seen a lot there. We know it's like a wasteland for junked Star Destroyers, and that's pretty much it. Like I don't know, Tatooine is like we have like a Sarlacc pit, and we got a couple of like Mos Eisley, Mos Espa. We've kind of seen the planet. Like Jakku, it's kind of a newer desert planet. I don't know how many suns does Jakku have. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. I could definitely tell you how many suns Tatooine has. You know.
That is true. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it though. Crash Star Destroyers or Cantinas, and I'm like, Cantinas.
There's gotta be Cantinas. There's Cantinas on Jakku. You just have to pay for it in portions, okay?
Okay. I got to work for Unkar Plut first.
Yeah, that's right. You got to trade in your credits for portions.
Yes,
trade in your portions for drinks.
He's like, here, you get 1/4 portion. I'm like, no, I want that over there on the shelf.
Yeah, give me the top shelf portions.
We haven't seen a lot of Jakku now that you mentioned. We've seen the junkyard. We've seen, we know it's a wreck of stuff. There are moisture evaporators, so presumably you do have moisture farmers.
Yeah.
Presumably you have other creatures and stuff that live there, and humanoids and who knows what. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to know more about, like the newer trilogy. Like I feel like that, like there's a lot of fun planets, and I want to know more. I want like a nature documentary, like from Star Wars. Like I don't want a story. I don't want like any kind of narrative here. I just want someone like that's a nature documentary person, and they make a show about visiting the planet, and they it's like, I don't know, Bear Grylls, like, or Survivor Man or someone, and they're going through and looking at the wildlife, or Steve Irwin, someone like that. Like, show me what the wildlife is there. Like, what's the nature like? What's it like hanging out on the forest moon of Endor for a day, or the other moon of Endor that the Death Star crashed on? There's so many things there I want to know answers to, and I don't want a narrative. I don't want to be like, oh, there's Jedi. I mean, unless they find like a Jedi civilization or something. I don't know. But like, I think that would be cool, like a National Geographic show where they just keep going to different planets.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be neat. I would like to see that. Just investigate all of these planets. Yeah, like maybe follow as an explorer. Like like you're saying, like the Star Wars version of Steve Irwin or somebody.
Yeah, someone like that. Like today we're on Mon Cala and we're going through the water, or we're on Camino today, or we're going to Hoth for an afternoon, and we're gonna see how many wampas we find, or something weird like that. Like, it would be kind of fun just to see that stuff.
Yeah, we're going to Octo to piss off the locals.
Yeah, let's go find one of those freaky holes in Utapau. Like, why not?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Utapau.
It's fun story about Utapau is George Lucas wanted to name every planet Utapau, and he kept getting shot down. In the original trilogy, like Tatooine was originally going to be Utapau, Alderaan originally Utapau, Coruscant originally Utapau, and he kept wanting to name these Utapau, and like he didn't until in the prequels, like 20 years later or whatever, he finally got to name some stupid shithole planet Utapau.
That's funny, and I think it was the same for Mace Windu, right? That was the very first like Star Wars name he created.
Yep.
Finally got around to it some decades later.
Right.
Britt says, let Kit Fisto and Swim Trunks be our guide.
There we go. Why not?
Yeah, he'd be good at that, I think. Just have to scuba dive down there and see what's what lives on. Where is Kit Fisto from?
Man, if you'd asked me like 5 years ago, I could tell you. But the internet,
That's kind of how I feel
I
now
used to have
too.
so much knowledge I could just bring up. He's a
Yeah,
Nautolan.
that's right.
Nautolan.
He's a Nautolan. Yeah.
I
Doesn't
had
sound
nothing
anything
better to
like.
do in high school and college than read these books and remember random useless facts. His homeworld is Glee Anselm, which sounds like an actor, like like the guy that played Han Solo. Like it's just a weird name, Glee Anselm.
That's the place that Beckett said he wanted to retire to.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's a fun little
Yeah.
connect those dots.
Yeah, for sure. He wanted to retire there to learn to play the Valichord.
Nice. Which I guess is what Val was named for.
Maybe.
No, I think that's a thing. I think I read that somewhere. But yeah, that's fun.
But no, I hear you there. Like, 10 years ago, I could, just spat out random, like, things. And I mean, you even talk about the 3 3/4 Star Wars modern line. When did that start? 1995. I used to know, like, off the top of my head, like, every single thing in the order it came out. And then, you think about it now, now it's like I think that was 2006, wave, whatever. It's like age, man, age.
Yep. Yeah. In 95, I got the first wave for Christmas of the old Power of the Force 2 figures. And I had them all. I had every figure from like 95 to probably 2003, whenever they switched over to the Power of the Jedi.
2000, late 2000.
Okay. So that's when I stopped buying every figure, just because I think I graduated and I was trying to like not be into toys and girls and whatnot. I got better. It's okay. I did buy some here and there. Like I went to the midnight release for the Revenge of the Sith, and Toys R Us had like all their figures in like one of those kitty plastic blue pools. And I'm like, just got an armful, like pulling like, yeah, I want a Chewbacca. Yeah, I want a Grievous. And then like, no, I don't care about pregnant Padme, like whatever. I was doing all that stuff.
Oh,
but I had them all organized. I had them organized alphabetically by name and the movie they were in. So like, this is A New Hope, and I'd start like alphabetically with numbers, like R2D2 or like not R2D2, but like I would go down and I had them all. And then I had them on the shelf that was very rickety. So about twice a month, someone would, like my dog or something, would bump into it. They'd all crash down, and then I have to set them all back up. So that I had them all memorized because I knew what order they went in because I had to set them up so many times. I might have been like lightly autistic. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if I was too on some level.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah. You're like, probably.
Yeah, just like thinking about how I was in high school. I was kind of an outcast. I was kind of socially weird. Didn't pick up on norms.
Yeah.
I might have been. I might still be.
Or socially divergent on some level.
100%. Yeah, something like that. It's a spectrum,
Yeah. Neurodivergent, I meant.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah. This is kind of random. Alex, I remember Toys R Us. Yeah, I remember Toys R Us, that place that used to sell toys.
I miss Toys R Us so much.
Yeah.
But I miss old Toys R Us. Like, I don't want Toys R Us to come back. Like, I feel like it's like a monkey's paw situation. Like, you wish it to come back, and it comes back, and it's terrible. Like, it's still a zombie. It's never going to be as good as it was. Like, nothing's ever going to be the same. So I don't want it to come back, but I do miss Toys R Us in, like, its prime.
You know what's funny? There's a Toys R Us down in Chula Vista off the Interstate 5. The building to this day still has the Toys R Us logo, like signage on it. Yeah.
Yep. I used to stop there when my other buddy Zach, my co-host for Bots and Shots, we would go down to the Toy Addicts down in La Mesa, and we would stop by there's like a Target there and a Toys R Us. So that was like on our way back. We'd always stop there to do a little toy hunt.
Yeah. The other one, there's one the one in like in San Diego, that one is now like a headquarters for Lyft.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And then the other one, The other one in National City, that one is now Burlington.
So the one that I went to in Oceanside, Carlsbad area, where I live, that one's a Burlington now. And then the one in Escondido, the other one I went to a lot, is a Bob's Discount Furniture.
Oh,
yeah. It's kind of sad every time I go by. It's like I feel like someone's moved to my childhood home and they've changed everything, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But it was also weird when there was just a Toys R Us sitting there, because I felt like my grandpa died and they're just letting him sit there and rot. Like they're not burying him, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like I don't like that they changed it, but I also didn't like it when there was just an empty building of a place I used to love to go to.
Yeah, I worked at Toys R Us for a bit in 2008. That's when they had the big Millennium Falcon, the big one, the huge one everybody wanted.
Yep.
And at that point it's like, okay, it's 2008. I was collecting the figures, but it's like the Falcon's there, it's $120. It's like, pay rent or buy the BMF. It was tough, but I decided to pay rent.
That's good. You could just live in the Falcon. It was pretty big.
Actually at that point I was working also at Best Buy, which is right next door. So as soon as I got done with Best Buy, I would just change from the blue shirt to the red shirt and walk over to Toys R Us and then start the other shift there.
Yeah. I worked at KB Toys right out of high school. So like that was my first job. My dad's like, if you live here and you're not in school, you have to have a job, because I wanted to take like a semester off from like going from high school to college. So I was like, fine. And I got a job at KB Toys thinking like, I'll just do something I love. And that's when I realized that like it's still a job, even though you love toys. It's still a job. It's not the same.
Yeah,
I worked for Toys for a while.
That's cool. My hometown wasn't big enough to have Toys R Us, but it did have a KB Toys.
It's always fun. Yeah, I worked at the mall there, and there's like a Suncoast right down the way. So I would just go down there, spend like $30 on one DVD, and then I'd come back to work and I'd spend $20 on a couple toys, and that was my paycheck for the week. And then my dad would be like, "Where's rent?" I'm like, "I got these cool toys."
Oh man. Yeah, I wrote my first check, like physical check, at KB Toys.
Nice.
It was 2003.
Oh wow! What did you buy? Oh, I thought it was $1,000. I was like, "What the?"
No. I wouldn't have had. No, I wouldn't have even had anything close to that.
Right. No.
It was the Star Wars, when they had the Clone Wars micro series. They had like a toy line, and they had these 2-packs where you would get like a figure, and then it came with a clone, like for $10.
Yep.
And they had the 3-packs there. I'm like, oh, I'm buying these, and I was like, oh, I have a checkbook now. I can use this. And I filled out the check and gave it to them, and yeah.
And that's when it started.
Well, that's when that started.
That's when that started.
The toys, though, gosh, you got to go back to when I was like, I remember going to KB Toys with my grandfather, and he bought me one of those just because presents. It was like the Kenner Ghostbusters, one of the role play.
Nice.
I don't even remember what it was. It was like this long foamy like curved thing. You would plug it into the gun, and you turn the gun, and the thing would spin.
And it would
yeah. That's what I remember. That.
That's fun. I never got into the role play items. Like even now, like I don't know, like they're fun. I kind of want a helmet, like a Black Series helmet, but I'm afraid that if I buy them, I'll just want to buy more. So I haven't bought any yet, because I don't know. I don't trust myself to just get one.
It's like yeah. I know you were asking not too long ago about Ahsoka Hot Toys, right? Should you get that? And I said, hey, if your significant other says to buy any toy, that's reason enough to get it.
And I did.
Good. But that too is major rabbit hole right there.
Oh,
major.
Yeah. I think I'm coming on the other side of it. Like there have been so many announcements where I'm like, oh, that looks really cool, but like I haven't felt the pull to buy it, like the Boba Fett 2-pack or pretty much anything. The only ones that I've felt that draw are the Ahsoka and the Darth Maul, just because I really do like that. I think that scene from Clone Wars in that last couple episodes where they're fighting is probably one of my like top 10 Star Wars moments, like period. It's not my number one, but it is like it's there. So I got that just so I could recreate that in Hot Toys, but I don't think after that, knock on wood, that I'm going to be buying any more Hot Toys.
Wait till you get them in person, and then you're able to move them around.
So
and
this is my collection right here. You can kind of see
yeah,
I've got the IG-11 on the speeder bike, which is my other favorite
gorgeous.
scene from Star Wars. I friggin' love that scene so much. The biker scouts right there. I got behind him. I've got the Mando in Beskar
Nice.
armor. You can't really see. Then I've got Rex and Cody right there.
Yeah, nice.
So I was tempted to get Anakin and Obi-Wan to go with the Rex and Cody, but I'm not doing it. So
Yet.
no, I'm not going to. You can't
Wait till the Obi-Wan series comes out.
No, you don't put that on me. You don't put that witchcraft on me.
Hey, we that's how we influence one another.
That's true. Negatively.
Well, it depends on what it is.
That's true. But I mean, we're influencers, kind of. Like, I hate that word, and I hate the fact that I am. But I can't tell you how many times I've gotten comments on my YouTube videos, like, I decided to buy this because of your video, and I'm like, part of me feels, oh, that's cool, but part of me is like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry I did that to you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. KB Toys, that man. Just crazy how like you go from these like nationwide like chains of toy stores, and then all of a sudden there's none.
Yeah, it's true. You go from a lot to none real fast too.
Was there Circus World in SoCal at any point?
Not that I remember. And I didn't always live here. I moved here in 95. I was in 8th grade. Before that, I lived in Kansas, and before that, I lived in Memphis, Tennessee. And I don't remember that anywhere. I do remember Children's Palace. If Dan's still watching, he did a video on that, and it brought back a lot of memories for me, because I assumed that all my toy visits as a kid in Memphis were to Toys R Us, because there was a Toys R Us there. But as soon as he mentioned Children's Palace, like, it's like unlocking a memory in my brain, and everything started flushing back. I'm like, no, it was Children's Palace the whole time. I thought it was like Toys R Us, but this whole time, my brain locked away this entire memory of this toy chain that I totally forgot about.
Yeah, it's interesting how that happens.
It is.
Yeah, Circus World was a chain. They had them in Texas, but I don't know where else they had them. But it was kind of like KB Toys, but not quite as good.
Yeah. Well, KB Toys was cool because they got the old stock overflow sometimes. Like, I got the Jurassic Park figures super cheap there. I got a bunch of Power of the Force Star Wars figures super cheap there, because like they would just get them in and they'd be like half price for some reason. And I love that. I love when that happened. I think I bought the Power of the Force AT-AT from like 97. I think I got that for like, it was like 20. It had to have been like $20 instead of the 40 or 50 or whatever it was when it originally came out.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. I just graduated from college in 95 and was all grown in buying Power of the Force 2 in a mall, KB, when they came out. Yep, that's how it was. I remember. I was a kid, but I remember that. I remember collecting the collector series, the 12-inch ones, and I had like, my mom and my grandpa were occasionally going looking for them, and they would tell me, because I was in school. They'd say, "Hey, we went today and try to get you that 12-inch Chewbacca. It's going to be in demand, high demand, 25 years from now." And
right. Oh my god!
And there were some men there trying to buy it.
Oh
they
my
beat
god!
us.
I remember how big of a deal scalping was back. That was like the first time I ever heard of scalpers. Was when the second wave of the 95 figures came out. It was Luke Skywalker X-Wing, which technically Snowspeeder. It wasn't even X-Wing. It was like the Snowspeeder outfit. And then I think it was Lando, and I think it was Boba Fett. I think it was part of the second wave. But like, I remember going to the store, and this guy was like yelling at someone else, and he had like an armful of all of them, and he's like, "No, these are mine. I was here first." And like, I was like, "What is happening? Like, it's just toys." And this grown man's yelling at someone else about like these toys, and he's like, "These are gonna be worth a lot of money." And then fast forward, 25 years later, 30 years later, and like they're not worth shit.
You can't even give those away.
No, they are not worth anything.
I tried to give one to my nephew, and he's like, "What the F is this?" And like, no.
What's this buff He-Man looking Luke Skywalker? I remember it was a big deal because like you had different variants too because they switched the lightsaber length. So there was like the long lightsaber, then there was the short lightsaber, and there was the in between where they had a short lightsaber, but it was a long tray inside there, and people were like, "Oh, that one's gonna be worth so much money," and like, no, these aren't worth anything. Like, it doesn't matter if it's long saber, short saber, no saber. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all.
Boba Fett with the half circle,
with the half circle and the yep. Or the Obi-Wan Kenobi with the half picture on the back instead of the full picture.
Yes, hologram or no hologram sticker.
Oh yeah, that too. Yep.
Yeah, they sure made their money during those years, though.
Oh, for sure. And I was in.
Yeah,
I was in on it. I didn't care how bad the figures were. Like, I knew R5D4 with guns and a rocket launcher. Like, I knew that was dumb. I knew that was bad, but I didn't care.
I probably thought it was cool.
It's like, what? There's a droid with guns on his arms, and he shoots a rocket out. Like, how? Yeah, that's rad.
Like the muscular nature of the figures, like for me, it didn't really wasn't a big deal. Like, 'cause I mean, I think you think back to like the early mid 90s, you know, any of the toy lines back then, like you know, Swamp Thing was like this big buff thing. The Robin Hood movie toy line, like he was like all muscular Kevin Costner, you know, bodybuilder. Oh yeah. And just Jurassic Park, you know, it was normal.
The norm back then. Yeah, you had Spawn on the shelves. You had the X-Men toys. Like, yeah, they had to make them muscular because I didn't think they thought kids would want to play with like wimpy, skinny-looking Luke Skywalker.
All right, now they're all like that.
And they had to give them like big guns too. Like Han Solo came with this little blaster. Then it came like a gigantic like gun that you put on a strap. I never had him hold because he couldn't really hold it.
He couldn't really hold it. No, because he had one hand that was like this.
That was like this. Yeah, he like wanted to shake hands.
Oh man! And then I remember Yoda had that backpack that you couldn't even put him in.
No, well, you could barely squeeze him in, but if you got the Dagobah Luke to go with it, if you didn't have the Yoda, the Luke wouldn't stand up. Like, he couldn't stand up by himself. So you had to have the Yoda and the Dagobah Luke together to make something that you could even display. Because you're right, the Yoda by itself with a backpack, like, what are you going to do with that?
Right, and the straps are strange.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, what memories! Those were the days. Yeah, those were for sure the days. Yeah, there's never going to be a time like that again. That's certain.
No, but different times. You know, like now we've got friggin' an Optimus Prime that costs $700 and is app enabled and transforms itself with lights and sounds and stuff. Like back in the day, it was a big deal if you're like, when the Millennium Falcon had electronic sounds. It had like the gun, it had like the engine sound, and they were the actual sounds, like the digital FX, versus the one from the 70s that had the engine sounds, but it was like a motor just going like, you know, like it wasn't a real from the movie sound. So it was a big deal when now we have from the movie sounds. And now like it's now I have a $120 Black Series Snowspeeder that I'm like, I kind of wish this had lights. Like I wish I had like a cockpit light or something. I don't know. I spent $120 on a bunch of hollow plastic with barely any paint on it.
Yeah, that's how it's been going.
And
you know, it's funny
up there.
It's funny you mentioned those vehicles. Like they continue to repurpose vintage vehicles in the Star Wars modern line, like for ages. And so, you know, with the retro collection, some people say, hey, you know, I'd like to see them do vehicles. It's like, why? They did many of them for like, even in the last 10 years, I'm sure there were still
and you can still buy them. You can still buy them for not that expensive.
Right.
Like if we go on eBay, let's see, ebay.com. Let's do Power of the Force 2
A-Wing.
A-Wing, why not? Yeah, A-Wing. I was gonna do X-Wing, but let's do A-Wing. It's a classic. $40.
Okay, so
$20 shipping. $20 shipping. Yeah, it was $20 figure. You can get it for like $40 now.
That's about right, I guess. Adjusted for the, you know, it has to pay rent, right? Somebody had in their collection for 20 years. You got to pay that rent, right? The back rent on that.
Of course, this is eBay, so who even knows what it's like other places? But yeah, let's do Power of the Force 2. Why not? Let's do Land Speeder. $20, $25. There's a lot here for $47 that has the Dewback, a regular Sand Trooper, an Obi-Wan, a Luke, and R2, the Land Speeder, and the Sand Trooper that came with the Dewback, all for $50. That's not bad.
That's not too bad.
Nope. And right below it is a Garindin for $4.
Did you say Garindin?
Yeah, the long snoot guy, the spy.
I always said Garandan.
Oh, Garandan, Garindan. They
I've
don't
never
come
heard
with
it that way.
pronunciation. They don't come with pronunciation guides. What do you say?
They
Do
don't.
you say Dr. Evazon or Dr. Evazon?
Evazon.
Yeah.
The one that somebody got me on recently, I forget who it was. It was on one of these shows, and I said instead of Lobot, I said Lobbit.
Lobbit. Like he's a rabbit.
Exactly.
Hey, Lobbit.
It's like he's never mentioned in the movies, so it's like
No,
Lobbit.
they don't
Okay.
use the name. Yeah, they don't use the name. That's like what we talked about earlier.
But then they're like Lobot because he's like a cybernetic organism or something. Like, okay, I guess
lobotomized robot.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'll adopt that pronunciation now that I know better. But before it was just Lobbit because I don't know.
You don't know, yeah. Well, what do you say? AT-AT or AT-AT?
I say AT-AT because it's less work.
That's fair. It's fewer syllables.
But somebody told me recently that it's 4 LOM and not 4 LOM. But then I'm like, well, 4 LOM's more, syllables. So
yeah. Someone, because I said that on my review of him, and like I had a couple people like correct me with no, it's 4 LOM. He's a robot. I'm like, yeah, but 4 LOM sounds more fun. Like that's a word. I don't like you R2 4 LOM. I don't know. Like it made sense to me at the time, but now I kind of go back and forth.
Right. Yeah, that is true. I think I just swallowed a chunk of a mint when I had a sip of my Mule. Yummy.
What do you put in your Mule?
So the first thing that I do is I muddle mint, extracted the oils a little bit. Then I put in, I squeeze 1 lime, and then I put in the ice. I put in 2.5 shots of Tito's vodka. And then I put in a small bottle of ginger beer, and then I start with the fork. I'm very specific about the fork.
The fork,
I start with
not
the fork.
A spoon.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. And then
what does the fork do? I'm really curious about what the fork does.
I just think it disperses, like it mixes a little bit differently. I'm sure it doesn't.
You use the forks. It's fine. It's fine. I get it.
May the forks be with you. And then I garnish with a cherry and a little bit of mint. And I think that's what I swallowed was the mint.
A little mint. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Fresh breath.
Hey, why not? Yeah. If I were to make one with what I have on hand, I have vodka and I have ginger beer. And I think we have a lime in our fruit bowl. So I'd probably just squeeze those together.
That works.
Because I don't think I have any mint.
That'll do it. A drink's a drink.
That's true.
Let's see.
We always have ginger beer around here. That and tonic water. Like,
I like ginger beer. Like if I have a tummy ache, it's like I like just having a little bit.
Yeah, we got for Christmas from my parents. They gave us. It's not a Soda Stream, but it's like a Soda Stream, where we can make our own like carbonated whatever. So on New Year's Eve, we carbonated vodka. Well, a screwdriver basically. We made a carbonated screwdriver. And it was interesting. It's like very sparkly, carbonated-y and kind of burny, but like in a good way. Also very strong.
That's not a bad thing necessarily.
No, rung in the new year. That's what we did.
Right. Depends on the day of the week too.
Yeah.
Saturday, sure. Come on. Let's see. Tony's in the house. Darth Phoenix.
What's up, Darth Phoenix?
With beer and pretzels in hand.
Ooh, that's a good combination.
Yeah, that is a good combination there. Let's see what else is going on here. So Dave is like, yeah, ginger beer is good. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I dug the expanded concept series of vehicles that were made.
Yes.
Yeah. Then again, I was the odd kid who loved the mini rigs. I think they were cool too.
I think they were cool too. I did like there was an expanded concept one that was like a vehicle and a figure, but they didn't separate. It was like a torpedo.
Right. Yeah.
Where it like unfolded.
Cruise missile.
Yeah, the cruise missile. That's what it was. I loved that thing. It was just like, because I loved like Transformers and Mask growing up. So any kind of vehicle that could transform into like a different vehicle was my jam.
Yeah. Yeah. Some interesting stuff they've done over the years for sure.
Oh yeah. Trying to make some money, just making up stuff. It's great.
Yeah. And then they reuse it years later, right? Like for.
I love it when they canonize stuff, like the old troop transport thing from the Kenner. And now it's like a really cool part of the Mandalorian and Rebels. Like I think that's cool. Like I want to see more stuff like that happen.
Super cool. Collector 1970. You should interview your husband about Star Wars collecting. That would be funny. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. He'd probably say, you know what? For those toys over there, we could have gone to New York for the weekend or something.
Yeah. Because I had a much smaller toy collection when I met my wife, when we started dating. And the first time I brought her over, I was a little nervous of like, this girl seeing like me with, it was like a bookshelf full of toys. And she looks at it and she goes, I've got more books. And that's what I was like, okay, we're cool. But you don't have to kind of like balance, like, how many books is she getting? Okay, she got like a bunch of books. I'll go buy a toy.
Nice. Well, to be fair, my husband has his own hobby. I have my hobbies.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody has what they like and enjoy and makes them happy. So, we're not doing anything. We're not gambling. We're not we're not closing out the bars.
Nope.
We're not doing drugs.
Nope. And you're paying your bills and whatnot. Yeah, you're an adult.
Yeah, we're paying the student loans. We're putting into the 401k. Everything's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. And then you know what? I don't like to look at toys as an investment. Like anytime anyone asks me, like, what's this worth? Or should I buy this or this? Because this is the value. I'm like, I don't look at toys like that. But in the back of my head, I know if something ever happens and I need to sell these, like I could sell these for money.
Yeah. And that's where those hot toys will come in handy.
That's right. Because hot toys are just, it's all up. It's great.
Yes. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Well, cool. So have you added anything to your collection lately, Mike? Any new toys or figures?
Papa Gord, I saw him in chat. I didn't say hi. Hi if you're watching, but he just sent me the Night Brother.
I didn't realize that was out.
It's not. It's out in Canada. But it's not out in the United States. So I got a little Canadian hookup there. And then I
thought you were gonna see something else for a second.
Oh, I mean I can, but and then I got these two in the mail just before the year ended, and I love this Greedo. I wasn't gonna open this, but looking at the Greedo, like I like the paint on it a lot better than the one that I got from back in 2013 or whatever.
I didn't realize the paint was different.
It is. There's the paint. There's a much richer paint wash on it, and it brings out a lot of the details.
Okay. Well, and then I bought two of them.
Oh, there you go. That's the way to do it. And then I did get this whole wave. So those are kind of spread out around here. And then I got a bunch of other stuff that's not Star Wars. Like I haven't been able to put this down. This is my Grimblock that my wife got me for Christmas because she can't buy me Star Wars stuff because I buy it all when it comes out. So she's like, I want to buy you a toy, but like, what toys can I like? What don't you have? So I always send her like some ridiculously expensive third-party Transformer. And cool. I'm never gonna put this back in robot mode because I love this mode so much. Like it's just a fun, cute little quirky T-Rex, and I love it to death. Absolutely.
That is super.
It's got to put some batteries in it so the eyes light up.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, dinosaurs are cool. I've never met anybody. I've never met anybody that said, I don't like dinosaurs. No, if I did, I'd probably have to slap them across the head.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? I actually got really into watching dinosaur YouTube channels now, like where they'll just it's like, oh, let's learn about this dinosaur and this dinosaur, and I'm just like, there's a bunch of dinosaurs I've never heard of, and like this is awesome. There's a new one that just got discovered called Stegosaurus. That's technically an Ankylosaurus variant, but its tail, instead of being a club, it's like one of those like kind of Amazonian mace axes, where it's like a long flat thing, and it's got like bones coming out of the sides all the way around it. And like I think that looks rad. That's one of my new favorite dinosaurs that just got discovered.
Cool.
So yeah, I've been really into dinosaur YouTube recently.
Yeah, that is cool. No, I like having those on too. I love dinosaurs, obviously, I collect dinosaurs, but I always learn new stuff by just having those channels on, just listening. And there's even a podcast about dinosaurs. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but it's really good. And they just, every time they go into different species, a recently discovered dinosaur, and talk about, the different, how it compares to other members of that family. And it's interesting. It's I Know Dino. That's the name of it. I Know Dino.
I Know Dino. I'm gonna add that to my list. I'm gonna listen to that one. I also listen to Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong, where he takes like an old like dinosaur toy and he talks about like from the 80s or 70s or whatever, and he talks about like how it's proportionally wrong and how they've discovered new things about it and things. It's not just feathers, but it's usually like the way their tail is or how big their claws are and things like that. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's all fun. And there's some companies that are going out of their way to make dinosaurs specifically retro and inaccurate. So there's a market for that, the nostalgia. And
well, like then you got like Brontosaurus, which was a dinosaur, then it wasn't a dinosaur for a long time, and now it is a dinosaur again. They're like, yo, Brontosaurus was a thing. I'm like, oh, make up your mind. Like, it's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Pluto will be a planet again in some years.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Ed is here. He says, can you say you added something in your collection when it's technically still in the mail?
I think it depends on what you're going to count it as. So for instance, I got one toy that I'm counting as a 2021 figure because it shipped out before the new year, but I didn't get it until 2022. So for me, it still came out in 2021 because I want to shove it into the old year. But I think for the most part, no, I wouldn't say that. But also, I'm not the police. I'm not gonna arrest you. So do what you
arrest that man over there.
Where's the toy police?
Actually, he needs arresting. Go arrest him. Maroon. It looks like Dave is disappearing. He says, good night. Much love from the frozen East Coast.
Oh, good night, Jurassic Dave. I'm glad we could talk dinosaurs for you a little bit.
Yes. Good night, Dave. It's great having you here as always.
Yeah.
Do you think Megalodon still exists? Well, why wouldn't it?
I don't think so. I think if it did, we'd see more evidence of it eating things. Like, I don't think
like as in, okay, I misread
like
that.
Like if it still exists personally. That's how I took it.
Okay, I took it as the species never existed.
Oh no, it definitely existed. Like Megalodon was a shark that existed. I just don't think they currently exist.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Although they said for a long time giant squids were not real.
That's true. They did. You're right. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a scientist by any means. Don't take my word for science.
The science of action figures.
Yeah. There you go. I'm better at that. But I think it's unlikely they exist. But obviously, I can't say 100%. Certainly, they don't exist. I just think that we'd see more evidence of them if they did. Like, unless there's only one or two swimming around in the deep blue sea.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be scary if they existed. But yeah, I'm gonna go with no on that one. All right. I'm trying to think of anything that I've acquired recently. So I got some of the Rogue One repaints for Black Series. Those came in over the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
The ones that are out.
Which ones you get? Yeah.
So far I have Jin, I have Chirrut, I have Bodhi, and gotta look over there. I think that's it. I think I was supposed to get Baze this week and he didn't come in.
Yeah, I'm missing Baze and I'm missing Jin and I'm missing Cassian, and I think that's all I'm missing.
Yeah, I don't have Cassian either. Yeah, I don't know if Cassian's out yet.
I haven't seen anyone really like post pictures of him yet. I had to dig them out. I put them all away when they announced the new ones because I expected to have them back in September when they were supposed to come out. So I put them all away in their original boxes in my garage. And then when I got Bodhi, I was like, well, I have to take them all out now so I could take pictures of him. Otherwise, it's just him for like my review and stuff. So I had to like go into my garage and haul them out of the boxes that I've got them all stored in. Like, it was really frustrating.
Yeah. As it always is. I always got to go look for that one figure, look for the one accessory. It's like, oh my God.
And it's always like, I know I saw it like a week ago. Right. And where was I when I saw it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Let's see. Other than that, I got the latest over the vintage collection, the Bo-Katan wave. Got a couple cases of that, so I'm going to do a review on that wave.
Nice.
And I got a Hot Toys. I got a new Hot Toys last week. I got not the Scout Trooper, the Shore Trooper. The Shore Trooper. That was my Christmas gift to myself this year. The Shore Trooper.
Oh, it's always fun to give yourself a Christmas gift. I like that.
Yeah,
there's I know a lot of people like poo-poo newer Disney like Star Wars movies and stuff, but we've gotten some fantastic trooper designs out of it.
Yes.
Like, and that's what I'm all about. Like, just the incinerator trooper behind you. Like, I love the newer stormtrooper designs and the shore troopers and the death troopers. Like, that to me is worth all of it right there, is getting fun new trooper designs that aren't just different colored stormtroopers or dark troopers or whatever. Like, we're just getting something more interesting.
For sure. Even I like the Sith troopers a lot too from Rise of Skywalker.
Those are fun. Absolutely loved them.
Yeah. Too bad we barely saw them in the movie, but
that had its own problems. Yeah.
One or two. So Milky Way Skywalker says, what is the best local toy shop in SD?
Down in San Diego, there's TC's Rockets, and they put on RocketCon every year. And I was gonna be at it in 2020, but they canceled it. It was because it was gonna be like March of 2020. But like, I was gonna be featured on a panel, and I had an in with like Flint Dilley, the guy that he's created and written so many like 80s properties and stuff. And like I made a sizzle reel for was it Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers, because his family owns Buck Rogers. So like, he was trying to pitch this whole movie thing. So he and this other guy I know approached me to make a sizzle reel, and I was gonna go to the convention and be part of the panel, and like, I was gonna be an official person there. It was gonna be a lot of fun. And then like, it all fell apart. And instead of being cool and famous now, I'm just back to being me, and that's fine. I kind of like it better this way. It's less stressful.
Yeah, it's always a little less stressful.
Yeah,
but no, that's cool. That's super cool. Hopefully in the future that'll just
we'll
like with Comic-Con. Yeah, it's like with Comic-Con. Like, right now the intention is for it to happen, but
who knows? Well, they just did the special edition Comic-Con during Thanksgiving weekend. I didn't go to that. Did you go?
No, I went to Texas to visit the family for Thanksgiving, as most people do for Thanksgiving.
For Thanksgiving, yeah. Why would you have a comic convention? I saw pictures from it, and it wasn't like it was bad. It was really small.
Yeah, and then Star Wars Celebration's coming up in May too.
I've got tickets for that.
I do too, at least for one of the days. I got to work the other days, but
I was kind of hoping, because they canceled it, I was hoping they were going to give us a chance to, because I only got for Thursday and Sunday, and the plan originally was to go that whole weekend and go to Disneyland for the days that we didn't go to Star Wars Celebration. And I was hoping that since they canceled it and re-upped it, that we could maybe have an opportunity to buy like the missing days so that I could go to the whole weekend, but we didn't. I've got tickets to go Thursday and Sunday again, and that's fine. It is what it is.
It'll still be cool. I'm sure they'll have some neat stuff to see.
We'll see if it still happens.
Yeah, that's the first things first, right? It's got to happen first. Yeah.
Yeah. The other cool local shop though is Toy Addicts in La Mesa. That's a good little shop. The guy that runs it, John, super cool guy.
Yeah. It's always neat when you have local toy stores that aren't like mega.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there aren't any chains anymore, right? But
Nope.
they just have independently owned
Yeah.
toys and collectible stores. And yeah, they're popping up more and more. I'm noticing. Even when I went this past Thanksgiving, I did go back home to visit, and I did see like a couple local stores there that weren't there before. So I was like, oh, that's cool. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. Yep. All right. So let's see. We're about an hour and a half into this stream. We need to talk about any hopes and dreams and desires for toys in 2022.
Well, I mean, I have eclectic tastes, so I don't just collect Star Wars. I also collect Transformers. I got G.I. Joe. I got Marvel Legends. I got Ninja Turtles. I got a bunch of Transformers here. I've got Power Rangers over there. So I don't know. I kind of hope no toys come out because my wallet will like it better. But I mean, I'm hoping for some more. I'm hoping for some Black Series figures that are more prequel trilogy and original trilogy related. I feel like we still have a lot of holes missing there. And one of the problems with getting new Star Wars, and this is a problem that the vintage collection didn't have back in the mid thousands and stuff, is once the Revenge of the Sith came out, that was like the last new Star Wars thing. So they could go back and just push out just some random ass, like blink and you'll miss some characters. Because what else are they gonna do? They gotta milk all the screen time and make everything into plastic that they can. Whereas now we're constantly getting new Star Wars media. So it's like just like with Rogue One, they just gave us a Bodhi 5 years after Rogue One came out. We're just now getting Bodhi Rook, and there's so many figures that the Vintage Collection doesn't have. But with the new stuff coming out, they want to make stuff for that, and so it's hard to balance old stuff and new stuff. So I'm kind of hoping that we don't get overrun with new stuff, and they have a chance to give us some of those holes that we're missing.
Yes. There are certainly some holes that need to be filled. Oh my God, it sounded terrible.
I like it. it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's what she said.
Anyway, there are some gaps in the collection that need to be filled in. Yes. So so like we were talking about Rogue One. We mentioned Krennic earlier in the show. Krennic is one that absolutely needs to come back with photoreal.
Yep. And they'll do one for the Vintage Collection, and it will look so much better than the one we got for Black Series. It'll have better articulation. It'll have a cloth cape, and I'll be really mad because that seems to be how it is. Where like with IG-11, we got IG-11 that was just a reissue of IG-88, and it looks awful. It's a terrible figure. It's one of the worst Black Series figures ever made. And then they make it for the Vintage Collection, and it looks amazing. It's like the best looking figure I ever had. I almost bought it. And I don't even collect Vintage Collection. That's how good it looks.
Yeah,
so
they've done that. They've been doing that, like Ahsoka from season 7.
Yep.
Amazing.
Darth Maul, the season 7 Darth Maul in the Vintage Collection. We don't have that. I was looking at this the other day. If they took this Darth Maul and Zero and just like lower half here, upper half here, you'd have a good season 7 Darth Maul. I could do this in like a half hour. Like, why?
Interesting.
I can't. I would never bust my figures apart. But I'm sure there's some customizer out there that has.
Oh yeah. And you know who really got robbed in Black Series was IG-11. Completely robbed.
Way robbed. Nothing about him is good. Nothing. He's just a terrible figure.
It's I do have some of the SH figure art Star Wars, but I'm generally a little more selective with them, and sure. I know they're not really doing much these days. But IG-11 is one that I was like, you know what? Yeah, I gotta buy that because Hasbro one is.
No, well, that's one of the reasons I got the Hot Toy one. Because like I want a good IG-11. I really like his character. We have a freaking Taika Waititi bot, and I like him in the show, and I want a good toy of him. And the Black Series isn't doing it. So I decided to just blow my money on the 12-inch version. Yeah,
for sure. Maybe they'll redo it someday. Who knows?
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they really need to catch up. They're both scales, but in Black Series, there's still no like Keyran or Kessel outfit. Her main outfit from the movie. We have one from the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
That's cool, but
or vice versa, we need Han from the first 5 minutes of the movie with the white jacket on.
Yeah, the white. Yeah, that. They could easily do him from the end of the movie where he has the black jacket, or Lando with a Hawaiian shirt.
Yep.
Just repaint the existing one.
Honestly, I'd still buy him.
I would.
Not hard. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Solo's definitely a movie that I feel like they didn't. There's a lot they could have made there, and they didn't. Same thing with Rogue One. And it's not just like the main characters. There's a lot of really cool aliens in Rogue One that I would love a toy of, like the Two Tubes guy, or some of the little big mouth like alien dude. Like I don't know their names, but I know they look cool, and I want them on my shelf.
Yeah. Therm Scissor Punch. Where's he?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they can do there, and yeah, I mean, barely now we're getting more Cantina aliens beyond Greedo, right? The Dr. Evazan, Ponda Baba, barely,
and they're Frankensteins of other parts, and I'm fine with that, honestly, because they don't look bad to me. Like Dr. Evazan, he's got his legs are DJ, his arms are Jedi Luke. I think his torso's new, and I think his head's new. But that's all we need. I don't need a whole new figure. Like if that's what it takes to give us some of these figures, fine, do it. Just do it. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people complain about the kit bashing and repainting and retooling, but I mean that's really necessary if you want to get more new stuff.
Agreed. Well. And a lot of other lines do it, and they don't bat an eye when they do it. Marvel Legends is like 90% kit bashing. The Power Rangers Lightning Collection, mostly kit bashing. The G.I. Joe, tons of kit bashing. Like kit bashing is just a thing. Like why would they need to make an all new legs if they've already made legs that work just fine?
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. This is also the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones.
Yes, it is.
So I'm hoping that we'll see a little bit of prequel goodness at some point this year. We need
a lot of great Jedi from that movie that need to be made in both scales. Absolutely. What's the one, if they could make one Jedi from Attack of the Clones?
In both scales.
Ayla, that's who I said too. She's on my most wanted list. Absolutely. That's a great one.
I met Amy Allen, who portrayed her in that Celebration 4. And cool. I have a picture with her somewhere. But yeah, she was really neat. She was fun.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there needs to be more Twi'leks in the line in general. So like Twi'lek for a while was my favorite alien. Like you had the weird Laku head tentacle things. Like, I don't know. They have sharp, some of them have sharp teeth, some of them don't. Like, it's just interesting.
I know. Some look like aliens, some look like humans.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's going on there? I don't care. That's cool.
Yeah.
This is peak Star Wars right here.
Yeah, it's biological diversity. There's different.
Exactly.
Maybe there's 2 planets of Twi'leks, and some evolve one way, some evolved a different way.
Could be. Ryloth's a big place.
Maybe there's a planet where it takes 70 years for a Twi'lek to mature.
Maybe. I mean, for a while, the only Twi'lek we had in the line was Hera, and she's a good one. Don't get me wrong, but like, I feel like there should be more.
Yeah, she is a good one. No, but there has to be more. There's plenty of, and Enzo here is saying Champs and Dula. I mean, absolutely,
for sure.
Be a fun one.
Hera needs a dad, as opposed to her daddy, who is Kanan, but that's fine. That was weird. I'm sorry.
We'll let it pass. We'll let it pass.
There we go.
Tony says Luminara and Coleman Trevor.
Yeah, that's a deep cut, but why not? Yeah, the Paracephalosaurus looking dude. We're gonna bring dinosaurs into this. Like that's a more unique alien looking guy there.
Dinosaur Jedi. I mean, how much cooler does it get?
That's about it. That's about as cool as it gets right there. But Luminara is also a good one. I've always liked her design. I liked her like black flowy garb stuff. I like the little Miralukan. Is it Miralukan, I think? Or I don't remember. Like the little little diamond pattern on her chin and stuff. Like I like that.
Yeah, that would be neat. And I know a lot of people want Ula in 6-inch as well.
That'll never happen.
No.
I'm convinced that will never ever happen, and it
It
never
won't.
was in the cards. I think if it was in the cards, Hasbro would have done it. I don't think Hasbro's that dumb. I think they know, and I truly think their hands were tied. And one of the big problems there is they should have just come out and said that. Like they should just be upfront and say like, "Hey, we want to do this too, but we can't." And like just leave it at that, you know. And it's the wondering that I think makes people angry.
Right. Although they did say that Huttslayer Leia was not off the table. I asked them that directly in one of the Q&A sessions, and they said there's no directive from Lucasfilm or Disney that can't be touched. They can do it if they wanted to. So,
well, there's that then.
There's that at least. That at least. So we'll see. But that does need an update in Black Series for sure.
Oh, for sure. Especially with the new legs and stuff, because whatever those were on the old one, they were awful.
They were bad, and like the plastics don't even match, like the color of the flesh tone of the hips to like the lower legs. Yeah,
her and Greedo were the first two peg warmers of the Black Series.
They were. Yeah. They were. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I think I know I did a top 5 recently for Vintage Collection on a video, and there's several there that I definitely want him to do. I mean, the Tonica sisters, obviously, time for Tonica, y'all.
A 2-pack right there. Give them the little hookah thing that they can smoke or whatever. Couple more of those glasses that freaking Bib Fortuna came with. Like you're set. Heck, charge $100, put them with another part of that Cantina that we got, and like you're golden. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
That would be cool. Give them a Moscow Mule.
There you go.
Or a Mando Mule.
Yeah. Or yep, that too.
Yeah. So we need them again. Kira and Kessel outfit. Both scales. It's kind of a deep cut, but Velkin Taziri. That's he was on Luke's skiff in Return of the Jedi. He's the only figure that we have not gotten in 3 3/4 from that skiff.
Really?
So if we had him, we could finish off that scene for that skiff. We need Cal Kestis because it's great that he's in 6-inch. I love that. I love both versions, but TVC has figures from that game, but they're just troopers. Who are they going to fight? There's no Cal Kestis.
No. Agreed. Yeah, there needs to be a TVC Cal Kestis for sure.
Yeah. So.
And again, when they do them, he's going to have removable parts. He's going to have the poncho be able to come off because they're going to put a lot more effort into the TVC version than they are in the Black Series version for some reason.
We'll see. The Black Series version is really good.
So it is really good. It is really good.
If they can top it, it'll be something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And, there's still like Rand Mods and Ends sequels I like to see. Like Emperor Palpatine, Sith Eternal, when he's like,
or a Finn and Poe from Rise of Skywalker. Like, I finally want to get a good Finn and Poe because there hasn't really been one.
There's not.
Nope.
I mean, with photoreal, they'd look really good now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there hasn't been a photoreal version of either of those, and there really, really needs to be.
Yeah, it would be cool. And I'd love to see more Clone Wars, more focus on that era prequels.
Yeah, I think, was it Mario said Dirge? And they finally, I think in the comics, they just brought Dirge into the comics, which makes him officially canon now, which is cool. So I would love to see that because he was a cool foe in the Gendy Tartakovsky Clone Wars.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. There's plenty of characters.
Oh, yes, we do.
Indiana Poe, yeah. Yeah, that I would take them. I mean, why not?
Why not? I just feel like we've got the Rey from Rise of Skywalker. Like I want a Rey. It's the one movie where all 3 of them were like actually hung out because the first 2 movies they didn't all hang out. They were all split up for the first 2 movies. The third movie, they're all hanging out pretty much the whole movie. And we don't have all 3 figures to kind of go with them. So I would like to have all 3 figures of them.
Yeah. I mean, just, it sounds like a great idea. Just why not? Why not? Why not?
They could do limited releases for that, because I get that that's not going to have the kind of the buying power. I feel like if they did limited runs that was like fan channel exclusive or something like that, charge an extra $5, like only the people that care would buy it, and I think that'd be fine.
It'd be better than nothing.
Yep.
I like that they're all in for the retro line of Mandalorian. At some point, I assume we get some Return of the Jedi retro figs.
That'll happen
Yes,
in 2023.
It will. That's not the next wave, though. That's not the next wave. Yeah. So there is more coming for retro, but there's we're gonna see something before we see Return of the Jedi. There's another thing in between that they're gonna do.
Do you have insider knowledge? Do you have a hookup at Hasbro?
What?
How do you do that? Like, how big do you have to get before Hasbro's like, hey, you're a person? Like I'm super. I say one YouTuber to another. Like, how did that happen? Was it something else? Was it YouTube? Like, what attracted Hasbro's attention? I'm asking for a friend, and that friend is me.
It's who you know. It's who you know.
It's who you know. I see. It's who you know.
Yeah, you know me. You're good. You're good.
All right. Well, I hung out with John Warden, so he knows my name at least, but he doesn't work on the Star Wars lines. He works on Power Rangers now.
That's fun. I collect those too. I collect those too. Only the Mighty Morphins though.
Yeah, I met him because I got invited to the Hasbro party when they revealed Unicron, the HasLab Unicron. They had it was at a local place. Was it Pounders or was it Brick by? I think it was Brick by Brick. But they had Vince DiCola there. They had a couple other bands. Like, I'm hanging out with like Greg Berger, the guy that voiced Grimlock. There's like a 12-foot Grimlock up here. Like, there's a party going on. It was a nuts night. But I'm like hanging out with like people from Hasbro, trying to rub elbows and schmooze. But like, it never went anywhere.
It's super cool. You know, just yeah. Have you been to the at Comic-Con when they do like the breakfast thing?
No, I've never been to Comic-Con as like a person. The last time I went to Comic-Con was I think 2011 or 2012, and then I stopped going because it just got too crowded. It was too hard to get in. And then I feel like every time I've tried to get in as like a media person with my channel, like I either haven't been big enough or I've just missed the cutoff.
Good things are just around the corner.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. We're covered. All right, let's see what else. Bespin Guards Black Series. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd also like the Cloud Car for Black Series. Like, why not? That's not too big. Like, the Cloud Cars aren't that big.
Yeah. I have a hard time seeing them doing that. I'd love to see it.
I don't think they'll do it. I'm just saying they're not that big. I think an A-Wing is doable as well.
Yeah, an A-Wing isn't that big too. That's even smaller than a Jedi Starfighter. So.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's about the same size as, or if not smaller than the Snowspeeder. I'm looking at the Snowspeeder. That's why I look up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do that all the time. Like, oh yeah, that one. Yeah. But yeah, I hope that there are some good things to come. And you know, HasLab. There's going to be more Star Wars HasLabs, not necessarily for Black Series, unfortunately, but there are going to be Star Wars HasLabs this year. We are going to, there is a strategy in place for, from what they've told us anyway, for, you know, the various shows that are going to be coming out. You know, it's not going to be like where we have to, the past couple of years, we've had to wait, you know, a long time to get anything. It sounds like there is a strategy in place for this year.
Because it is weird that we're getting a Boba Fett. Like we saw this Boba Fett in the Black Series. We saw him over a year ago now. And the figure is still a year away almost, you know, like that's a long gap in between seeing him on screen and being able to buy a toy of him. Right.
And the Black Series one isn't based on his Book of Boba Fett look either.
No, it's based on the season 2 Mandalorian, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird. TVC, they got it right, but
they did. Well, then the TVC Boba Fett is almost the same price as the Black Series Boba Fett.
That's true. The deluxe one, yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine. I feel like because I would pay more for Black Series if they came with more cool flavor stuff like the TVC one comes with, like the little helmets and stuff. That stuff's awesome. I would definitely pay $5-10 more for a figure if they came with little things like that.
Yeah, me too. Would be great to see. You know, I know for 3 3/4 inches, it's about the world building. It's about having the extra stuff. So I'm glad they are finding avenues to do that. But it's not a bad thing for 6-inch either if they find opportunities to, like what they did with the Cantina half-ish bar.
Yeah,
things like that would be nice.
Yeah, and as a collector, I'd love to get a reason to get another half of that bar, because like I wasn't gonna buy 2 of those Cantina Showdowns. I don't need 2 Dr. Evazans and 2 Ponda Babas and 2 Obi-Wan Kenobis, but I do want 2 parts of that bar. So I'm hoping at some point they figure out a way to do it again, because I feel like it sold pretty well.
It sold out, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and they said that, I remember they were saying like, yeah, you guys got to buy 2, and then it was limit 1. Like it's
2.
like
yeah, like how are we buying 2, but it's limit 1? Like how does that even work?
Oh man.
But I'm still not spending $200 on it, especially when I don't need doubles of 2 of those figures.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow too.
It is, yeah. I was all about. I dropped $700 on the Rancor. Like I bought 2. I backed 2 of those. Like I'll do it all day long if it makes sense to me. But buying doubles of the Cantina Showdown just to get a full bar, that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's really is too bad about the Rancor.
I was heartbroken. And it got so close too. It got so close.
It did. You know, I think that FOMO kicked in at the very end. People just started. You know, I have pretty much everything that's ever been released in the Black Series, but I didn't back that though because of the space. I have the TIE Fighter, and it's like it's just in a closet because I have nowhere to put it. Yeah, so I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's like I have the 3 3/4 inch Rancor, and that's already huge. Like, you know, where am I going to put a Black Series when as gorgeous as it looked? You know, I was rooting for it to pass because, you know, when anything in Star Wars sells well, it doesn't matter what scale it is. That's just good for Star Wars in general.
Exactly, it's good for Star Wars. Yep.
And so it's kind of a bummer that it didn't.
Yeah,
but...
and that was kind of one of my things is like people like yourself, like you're not buying it and you have a reason you're not buying it, and that's fine. It was the people that were like rooting against it. Like what? Like why? Like why are you rooting against it? That's just weird. Like if you don't think it's worth it, you don't buy it, don't back it. But actively campaigning against it, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it is. There was some of that too, and I think I tweeted something about that because I didn't think that was cool at all to see people doing that. But yeah, we're not going to see a Rancor in either scale anytime soon. So, you know, it doesn't happen for one scale, it's not going to happen for the other.
Well, it didn't happen in Book of Boba Fett either. That was kind of funny.
Yeah,
he's like, it looks like their HasLab didn't fund either.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Bill says, Happy New Year. Oh, I haven't been subscribed or collecting that long, a few months, but I've become a fan of the videos. I just wish I kept my figures as a kid. So, and more bricks, I could afford more. Yeah, I'll get things in due time for sure. When it comes to toys, I always say, you know, if it's something that you're not currently doing, but want to get into, you know, certainly set aside like a budget and, you know, work that into your, you know, monthly or however you work your finances and try and do it that way. That way, you know, you could still cover all your bases, you know, your food, your gas, all this and that, but then still have a little left over to get into some figures.
Yeah, absolutely.
With all the pre-orders that are going up all at once, do you think Hasbro is trying to meet their end of the year quota since the HasLab Rancor failed? No. The HasLabs are completely separate from the budget of the main line, so that it has no bearing on quotas or anything like that. I'm glad the people have voted with their wallets. I do agree with showing Hasbro that they need to do better and just can't release anything. Well, I guess that's the whole purpose of the HasLab is you know, people want it, it gets funded. If overwhelmingly they don't, then you know it doesn't. It just sucks when it's something that gets so close and then it's like it doesn't happen.
It was less than 500 away, and like in the last hour, it gained. Man, it was like 2,000 or something like that in the last hour. It was really fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you back anything else from this wave of HasLab?
I backed the Sky Striker.
Cool.
I had backed the Sky Striker initially because I always I always try to back at least every HasLab. I didn't this time, at least to sell, because like I don't feel bad about doing that since they're made to order. Like backing one isn't taking something away from somebody else. You're creating something that wouldn't have existed if you hadn't backed it. So if anything, you're helping people out. So I will always back one to resell, essentially. So I'd already backed the Sky Striker, but then when the Rancor failed, I was like, well, I've got extra money that I'd saved. I might as well back two. So I backed two Sky Strikers. I didn't do the Ghostbusters backpack. I just have no interest in that at all, even to resell. I just didn't care. I did Victory Saber, and I did Unicron, and I think that's pretty much all I've backed now. I didn't do any of this either of the other Star Wars ones, and I didn't do the Galactus or Sentinel.
Right on. Yeah, I did back the Proton Pack because I had one of the greatest things I ever woke up to on Christmas morning was the original Kenner Ghostbusters Proton Pack that came with the Neutrino wand and the big yellow foam proton stream and the PKE meter, and it had a little like a snap-on badge, Ghostbusters badge that you could wear, and I still remember vividly waking up and seeing that. I think I was like 3 years old or something, and like it just felt like full circle for this to come out, and to not back it, I felt would be just criminal on my part.
No, absolutely. So. No, do you have the Egon's Neutrino wand already too? Okay, yeah. That was one of those things. I don't know how many people that backed it don't realize that it didn't come with the wand, because I know at least at the beginning, a lot of people just assumed that it was like the whole set.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you would kind of think, but
yeah, you would, especially for $400. But I think it's cool. And I know Ghostbusters fans are starved for stuff like this. And if you go on the aftermarket or Etsy and get like a made one, they're like thousands of dollars. Yeah. So I was all for. I'm glad it passed. I'm all for it. Again, I wasn't campaigning against it. It just doesn't interest me at all.
Totally. And yeah, we'll see what happens this year. I think we're gonna see something sooner rather than later for HasLab Star Wars, and
that's fun.
I'm excited to see what it is.
So you don't even know, huh?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm excited to see what it is. I'm excited to see what officially.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, cool. So, Mike, we've been going almost 2 hours. Are there any other topics or subjects you want to touch on?
I don't know. Do you know anything about the freaking the holiday Black Series things? Because like, man, I want those so bad. And I don't even care. I don't even care. It's not Christmas anymore. Like, I still want those.
I want those too. I bought all wave one. I said I wasn't early on. I was like, you know what? No, I got to draw the line somewhere. A few weeks later, I had all of them.
Yeah.
It's just the weird and different. It doesn't have to make sense.
They're just goofy enough. They're goofy enough to be like, yes, I love how dumb this is. Like, it's that perfect level of dumb to be appealing.
Right. I wish that I knew what their strategy was with those. I don't know I think maybe the wisest thing to do would be to hold them till next year if that was possible, but they don't usually do that with toys. Because things, they can't just let things sit in like a retailer's warehouse, for free, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to end up somewhere. Is it going to be, I think they were intended for like last time, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, Amazon. I don't know what they're going to do this time. What I am seeing though, when I see photos online, is that some people have taken photos of them all in the same place. Yes. So my thinking is they're going to go to Closeout, like Big Five or Ollie's places. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. But we don't have those here, right? So
yeah, we don't have an Ollie's here.
There's a Big Five near LA. I know that, but I'm not going to go just to look for these.
No. Oh well, I know. The place they found them was at Frankenson, and I go there. I haven't been there in a while, but like that's not that far away for us. That's like an hour drive north.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really want them. That's all I know. And I know the reason we didn't get them, and I know reason we didn't get a lot of figures is because of the delays in shipping and stuff.
Right.
Like I get that, and it's just one of those necessary evil things. But I really hope they just go ahead and release them. Like anyway, like I'll buy them. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll buy them.
I hope so too. I mean, but yeah, that's totally what it is. You know, the backups at the ports, the log jam and all that. Like even like off the coast here, San Diego, you know, you could see some of the barges and stuff here.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah. So I mean, it's bad. But yeah, that's totally what's going on. So, but no, I hope we have access to them reasonably without too much difficulty.
Yeah.
See.
We'll see. Knock on wood and whatever. I'm just taking it one day at a time, pre-ordering as soon as I can, and just waiting to get it so I can put it on my overcrowded shelves. Because I'm a consumer.
Yeah. That's the thing too. It's like I have limited space. You know, I have one room where I can dedicate to this stuff, and it's like, well, I can't. There's no way I can have everything on display at one time. I got to rotate it in and out. And I'm thinking of that Razor Crest that's going to be coming in the next couple months.
Where you putting that? Go? Yeah.
No idea. Something's going to have to give here, but yeah, I don't know what.
That's a problem for future you.
Yeah, that's not today me's problem. Nope. Today's me is hanging out with an awesome person here, chatting about toys and sipping a Moscow Mule. So
that's right. Having a good time.
For sure. Yeah, let's see what happens. Book of Boba Fett episode 3, and see if we can identify any more figures that we want to see. Yep. And I'm sure there's going to be one or two in this next episode.
Oh, there always is. Like, you know, there's every time they do new Star Wars. That's my mind always works that way. It's like I'm watching it to enjoy it, but somewhere in the back of my mind is like, I want that as a toy. I want that as a toy. I want that as a toy. That's how I viewed the Star Wars trailers for the sequel movies that came out. Heck, every Mandalorian episode, when the tragedy happened and they had those mortar troopers, I looked at my wife and said, I want that. Like, I want that as a toy on my shelf. And then now I have it. Like, it's on my shelf. I have an artillery stormtrooper hanging out there in his cool yellow stripy glory with his little mortar and stuff. Like, I love that I can see something on screen and then months later have it in my hand. Yeah, I'd like it a little sooner than that, but it's still fun.
It's still fun. It's loving a movie or something so much that you can have your own little 3D representation of it on your shelf and be able to go to it at any time and interact with it. Yeah. So, well, good stuff. I just tackle a couple of things that popped up here.
Let's do it.
And so GameStop has exclusives all the time, but it's such a pain dealing with their website app. Same with Target and Walmart. Gone in 60 seconds. I haven't had this issue so much on GameStop.
I've never had an issue getting a GameStop exclusive.
Yeah. Target, they tend to go like that if you're not there. But usually they will.
I do feel like Target's gotten better recently. Like in the last year, I feel like Target's allocated more to their online than they have for in-store, whereas before it was like reversed.
Yes. Yeah, and then once they do get them, because the pre-order is usually months in advance, right? Once they do start carrying it, you can usually get them in stock every now and then to order, or do ship to store pickup or whatever. Walmart is a crapshoot.
The worst, absolute worst. If you do manage to order it on their website, chances are it'll get canceled.
It'll get canceled, or they will cancel it right before they're going to ship it, and then they'll put it back like they did last year with the vintage collection and sell it for 3 times the price.
Ridiculous. And somehow I got doubles of all 3 of the Black Series Walmart exclusives. I gave the Rex to somebody, but I've got an extra Imperial Crosshair and Vice Admiral Rampart just hanging out over there.
Greatest figure of all time, Rampart.
Super great figure. I've got an extra one for some reason. I don't know what to do with it. Nobody freaking wants it.
Yeah, Walmart is the worst. Did you mention anything about the Walgreens exclusive trooper, which I check every once in a while and haven't seen any yet? No, they are not hitting yet. I think Jason recently said that they are en route, or they're making their way over.
I saw that, yeah.
But no, and I even asked in the last Q&A Hasbro about this because so many people were asking me about it, and they said that they have no news other than that it is still happening. So
I wasn't expecting it to have the new molding. I thought it was going to just be a reissue of the Entertainment Earth Order 66 pack. Could you ask them why they keep missing the black ring around the helmet?
I think it's because they're trying to match the Clone Wars rather than
like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Are they not in the cartoon? Did they not have it in the cartoon? I've never noticed.
No, they don't have it in the Clone Wars.
Well, now I know. I thought that they all just had that. Something
I mean,
I've never noticed before.
I think that's what they're doing, but it doesn't really make sense because anytime they try to adapt from the Clone Wars, they try to bring it into realistic style. So that doesn't really make sense to me. But
all the original, I know the earlier Clone Troopers all have it, and now like seeing them side by side, it looks weird without it. It's like if I shaved off my eyebrows. Like, sure, I still look like a person, but I should have eyebrows.
True. Yes, that's a good comparison there. But yeah, they didn't do it on the Shock Trooper from Walmart. Yep. They didn't do it on the 332nd Trooper.
Yeah, they didn't do it on the
Camino Trooper. Yeah, so I'd rather they stick closer to the film aesthetic, but
same.
What can you do?
Buy it and put it on my shelf and still enjoy it. It's a minor nitpick. It's just something I was super curious about because it seems like a weird oversight, especially based on how good Hasbro usually is about getting stuff like that done. Like I get skipping some minor paint apps like on the back, like Kit Fisto doesn't have his bands painted back there, or the back of Rex's head isn't painted. Like I get that. Like I get budgeting. I get how paint like budgeting works and stuff like that. So, but like little like things like that, I'm like, that seems like a weird oversight.
Yeah, it is weird. Matt says, except the TVC Rogue One X thing, I think Target did that one poorly. So that was a deliberate thing by Hasbro. They said there was not going to be a pre-order for that. They wanted to try something new with that, and it was handled really strangely either way because most stores didn't even get the X-wing. From what I've spoken to other collectors, they've said, this Target got it, but none of the other ones in my area got it. And that's how it was for me too.
I've never saw any of my Targets.
Yeah, it was the only one in the area was like East Lake Target is the only one that had it. So I drove over there and I was able to get it that morning that, the thing said they had it in stock. So
yeah, where I live in North County, I've got like 6 Targets I can hit up in like a half day. Like if I don't mind driving, within like a 30-mile radius around my house, like I've got a decent amount of Targets that I can hit up. So it's really expensive if I'm hunting for something actively, and I go to all of them every day.
Yeah, same here. I have at least that many in Walmart's too, but
and Walmart.
I just haven't had the time lately. But also, it's also like the energy and just kind of knowing there's a 90% chance you're not going to find anything anyway.
Yep.
So I order online most of the time now.
Yep. It's not as fun, but at least you get them.
Yeah, at least you get them. I think that's for me, like at this point, I've been collecting for a long time and like I have other priorities and things going on. For me, the main thing is at least I can get them, right? I have that security, usually of a pre-order, if you're Walmart or Amazon, doesn't always guarantee it. Yeah.
I've never had Target cancel anything, but I have had them want me to like re-up, say, I still want it or whatever. Yeah.
Amazon does that too.
Yeah. And
Target has canceled 1 or 2 of them on me as well. And Amazon has as well.
Amazon's canceled something on me. Those jerks.
Those brats, yeah. Well, I think we've had a really great chat, Mike.
For sure.
We've gone for a little over 2 hours now, and it's been a blast. So I want to say thank you so much for coming on here and chatting about all these topics. I could keep going for a long time. I think we would lose half of our audience. But it's been fun, and thanks to everybody who's been hanging out with us. Some of you have been here the whole time, so thank you. Yeah.
If you're watching this, give it a like. Why not? If you haven't done it already, come on.
Why not? If you're not subscribed, why not? Why not? That's why those buttons are there.
Yeah.
And definitely subscribe to Mike as well if you're not already.
Why not?
And Mike, where can our friends here go to look you up on the interwebs?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. My channel name is just my name because I was very creative when it came to that. And then actually it was back when they forced everyone to link it to Google Plus, and it just became your name. So and then I'm on Instagram at Trusty Sidekick. And I'm on Twitter at Mike Kaess. That's pretty much all the stuff I go on.
And the podcast.
Oh, yeah. And my podcast, Black Series Cantina, which I didn't think about all the different Cantina podcast names that are out there. It just kind of made sense at the time because we put a little vote, and that's the one that won. But we're releasing a new episode tomorrow. I still have to edit it and put it together. So I'll probably be doing that after we're done with this. But it will go up tomorrow on both my channel and on virtually any podcasting service that you choose.
Awesome. So we'll definitely have links in this live stream once it is over and published and all that. So definitely hit up Mike on social media and on YouTube and through the podcast. And Mike, this has been a blast. Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Pleasure. I'd love to come back anytime. Absolutely. And I'd love to have you on our podcast.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Cool.
All right, guys. So thanks so much. May the force be with you. Have a great night. And we'll see you not next week because I won't be here next week, but the week after that we'll be back. We're talking to Jamie Stangroom, who has he's got a YouTube channel. He did the whole investigation about the stormtrooper who bumped his head. Who was it? It was a fabulous video. And then we'll be talking to Toy Bro the week after that. So
hey, bro.
We got some good stuff coming up. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys very shortly. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye-bye.